Salve.
Salve.
Salve, and welcome to eTogaTrek. I'm Magister Jefferson, and today we're going to take a journey to ancient Rome. I hope that you're ready, because we've got some fun things in store for you today. First, we're going to speak some more Latin, just like the Romans did about 2,000 years ago. This time, we're going to ask, Quaenam est tempestas hodie? Now, you might have heard the word tempest in English. It means a big storm. It's a little bit different, but the Latin word tempestas refers to the weather in general. So, we're talking about what the weather is like today. You might say sol lucet if the sun is shining, nubilum est if it's cloudy, pluit if it's raining, and ningit if it's snowing. Can you use Latin to describe your weather today when I ask you the question? Quaenam est tempestas hodie? Great! I hope the weather is nice there, because here, sol lucet. Before we start our journey, let's make sure that we have all the supplies that we'll need. First, an eTogaTrek journal. Find a small notebook to use and make it your eTogaTrek journal. You'll need it a few times today. A small ball, quick-drying clay or Play-Doh, a toothpick, 2 sets of 3 game pieces, like cereal, Monopoly pieces, or coins, and construction paper or newspaper. Now we're ready to meet our instructor for today, Magistra Jacobson. Salve, Magistra Jacobson.
Salve, Magister Jefferson.
Quaenam est tempestas hodie?
Hodie sol lucet.
Ah, mihi placet. It's such a beautiful day.
Ito vero. Yes, it is. Today we will be talking about games that were played in ancient Rome. It's time for some brainstorming, so get out your eTogaTrek journal. What sort of games do you typically play? Do you think that Roman children would have played the same games? Keep in mind, the Romans did not have computers, cell phones, or even electricity. Take a minute to write down your ideas in your eTogaTrek journal. Pause the video now to write down your ideas. Those are some great ideas to get us started today. Here are some things you might have thought of that don't require electricity. The Romans could play board games, games with dice, or sports. They had a lot of simple games, but they can be a lot of fun. The first game that we'll play is called Rota. To play Rota, draw a circle and draw 4 lines through the center of the circle. Make sure to place a dot where the line hits the circle. Then grab a partner to play with you. I'm going to play this game with Magistra Hart. Salve, Magistra Hart.
Salve, Magister Jacobson.
Each player should receive 3 game pieces. Coins, pieces of cereal, or Monopoly pieces can work fine. We are going to use pennies and dimes. The object of Rota is to get 3 pieces in a row. There are 2 stages to this game, placing pieces and moving pieces. In the first stage, each player takes turns placing 1 piece on the board at a time, just like tic-tac-toe. During the next stage, players will take turns moving their pieces around the circle or in and out of the center. The game ends when a player has 3 in a row. I will go first. Place it in the middle.
Alright, I'll put it on the edge since there's no other places.
I'm going to go next to you.
And I will go right here.
I'm going to make an L.
And I'll try and make a corner, so 3 corners.
Okay, my turn. Going up.
And I'm going to try and box around on the side, so I'm going to move up.
I kind of want to get out of the middle.
And since I have the chance, I'm going to take the middle.
There's only one place I can go, so I'm going to go down.
And for the objective of the game to get 3 in a row, I will move down.
And you won. Magistra Hart won because she got 3 in a row. Now that you've seen Rhoda in action, if you have a friend with you, you can try playing it yourself. If you can't play it now, don't worry. We have another game for you in just a moment. We have another game for you in just a moment. But first, let's talk about how Rhoda is similar to games that we play today. Can you think of any games that you enjoy playing which are similar to Rhoda? Pause the video now to write down some ideas in your eTogaTrek journal. Those were some great ideas. Here are some things that you might have thought of: tic-tac-toe, checkers, Chinese checkers, or bingo. Roman children played many other games as well. There was another board game very similar to checkers called Trunculi, which means little robbers. They would also play a game called Trigon, where 3 people would stand in a triangle and throw balls between one another. They also took on sports such as swimming, wrestling, and horse riding. But some of the most popular games were the ones that used knucklebones. In ancient art, we can see almost everyone playing with knucklebones. Girls, young boys, teenagers, and even adults. The Latin name for these knucklebones was tali. Originally, the tali were made out of bones from sheep. However, sometimes they were made with glass to look like the shape of real knucklebones. As you will see in a few minutes, there were several games that involved picking up or catching the tali in your hand. But sometimes they were even used like dice. They would often draw dots or use Roman numerals to help them tell the value of the side. In just a few minutes, we're going to make our own tali. But first, let's talk about what games and toys we use in the modern world. Do you have any toys or games that are similar to tali? How are your games different from what the Romans played? Take a minute to write down your ideas in your eTogaTrek journal. Pause the video now to write down your ideas. Wonderful. I know you have some great ideas. You might have noticed that the Romans had several board games they liked to play. Even today, board games are still very popular, including chess, Monopoly, or backgammon. Just like the Romans played Trigon, we still like to use balls to play catch or foursquare with other people. Knucklebones can be a lot like dice. Sometimes we play Yahtzee with dice, and other times we use dice to help us play other games. Now it's time to make our own knucklebones, or tali. First, get all of your supplies ready. Lay down some newspaper or construction paper on the table so you don't get things messy. Then get out Play-Doh or clay. I'm going to use Play-Doh. Take a piece of the Play-Doh about the size of dice and give it a rectangular shape. Remember that the Romans used actual bones, so their tali had sides that were a bit irregular. Then take a toothpick. Etch 1 Roman numeral in each side. Look to the right side of the screen for a reminder how to write Roman numerals. We start with 1, and then 2, then 3, 4, 5, and 6. There you go, your first very own knucklebone. Before we go on to the games you can play, you need to have a set of 5 tali. So pause the video now and use some more of your clay or Play-Doh to make 4 more tali. Okay, great! You now have your 5 tali. I'm going to show you 4 different games you can play with the tali. Let's take a look at a really simple but very challenging game to play with these tali. First, hold them all in your hand. You're going to throw them up in the air turn your hand over and try to catch them on the back side of your hand. Let's see how many I can catch. Oh, look! I missed 4, but I caught 1. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try to catch the tolly on your hand. Looking pretty good. Let's try a second game now. For this game, you need to have a small ball. You're going to throw the ball up in the air, pick up 1 knuckle bone, and then catch the ball again. Let's try it and see how it goes. I've had a lot of practice. It might take you a couple of tries, but you'll get the hang of it. Pause the video now and try to pick up a knuckle bone before you catch the ball again. Great! Now let's try a different sort of game with the tolly. This is a game of luck and chance. First, you're going to pick up all of your tolly. Then toss them into the air. When they fall onto the table, count up your score by the numbers on the tops of the tolly. Here we go. I got 1, 3, 2, 4, and 4. That's 14. Go ahead, try it. See how high you can get your score. If you have a friend or an adult with you, play the game with them and see who can get a higher score. Pause the video now to work on achieving a high total score. Awesome! I hope you got some really high scores. This last one is a guessing game. You're going to toss a tolly, just like in the last game, but this time you try to predict whether you're going to get an even number or an odd number. Let's see. I hope it's going to be even. 3, 1, 3, 4, and 4. That's 15. I guess I lost this time. Again, if you have a friend or an adult with you, play this game with them. See who gets the odds and evens correct. Pause the video now to play this last game. Predict whether you'll have an even or an odd. Today, we looked at 2 popular ways that Roman children played games. Board games were very common, like the game Rhoda. Knuckle bones were great to keep around the house. There are many variations on the games you can play with them. Sometimes you try to catch them or pick them up, and sometimes you add up the numbers on the sides. Here are a few questions for you to think about. Would you like to play any of these games with your friends today? What was your favorite game that you saw today? And can you think of any games that were similar to the games with knuckle bones? Thanks for joining me today as we tried out some ancient Roman games. I hope you had some fun playing with knuckle bones. Make sure to keep them around the house to use with your friends and family.
Did you know that the Romans had 3 different forms of government? First, they were a monarchy with kings. After that, they were a republic with a senate and elected officials, just like us. Finally, they became an empire, where the emperor had all the power.
Solway again. I'm glad that you joined us today for our trek back in time to ancient Rome. I hope that you enjoyed playing those games, just like ancient Roman children. These games can be fun even today. Take a picture of the knuckle bones that you made and submit them for this lesson's online contest. To enter the contest, click the link in the blue box below and upload your picture. If you had any questions about children's games in ancient Rome, you can send them to us on that page. We would love to hear all of your thoughts and interesting ideas. We'll read your questions and post some answers to them right here. That's all for today. Thanks for joining us on our eTogaTrek. So until next time, Wale, we hope to see you again.
Wale.
Wale.
Wale. Wale. Wale.